Okay, we start with question number 1. Which of the following has the most momentum? Which one?
D.
Donkey ke ball?
D.
D.
Donkey. Okay, so what formula do you want to use? Which formula? Kalau kamu nak decide lah. P is equals to
MV.
mv, yes. P is equals to mv, so P depends on mass and velocity. If you have a higher mass or higher velocity, that means our momentum will become larger as well. So the question want to find the most momentum. So obviously it need to be more massive and higher velocity. So the answer would be donkey. Okay, question number 2, the momentum for any object is calculated by, okay, this one I already write down the formula just now. It will be mass multiplied by the velocity. So the answer would be B as well. Sorry, B, just now D, this time B. Okay, an impulse is equivalent to what?
A force applied for an object for a period of time. C.
So J is equals to F delta T. This one actually represented by the answer C. Okay, question number 4. According to conservation of momentum, the momentum before a collision should be the same as, right? Conservation.
Yes, same.
Okay, so the answer would be C. Senang je lah. Okay, which of the following pair defines inelastic condition? Okay, first thing first, momentum need to be conserved. So anything else is wrong. So this one is wrong. Now the question is whether the kinetic energy is conserved or not. So jawapan dia apa?
Not conserve. B
Not
jawapannya.
conserved.
B.
Okay, so the answer is B. Okay, good, very good. So the criteria for inelastic, okay, summation of Pi need to be equals to summation of Pf. Okay, but the kinetic energy is not conserved. Okay, now we're going to go straight to the question number 6. Okay, state one difference and one similarity between momentum and impulse. Apa beza and apa persamaan dia?
Both vector quantity.
Both is a vector quantity. Okay. Okay, saya punya
Both have same units.
both have the same unit. Okay. The difference?
Daripada segi definition dia lah kan sir?
Boleh. Okay, similarity. Okay, so one of you guys just now cakap pasal unit, which is very good. Okay, exactly. So you know that the unit, sorry, this one is between momentum and impulse. So momentum is equals to mv, while impulse is basically delta p. Okay, so for mb you will have a unit of kg ms minus 1, and since delta p is basically just a difference of momentum, you will have the same unit. So similarities, same unit. You can do in the table if you want to. And difference, macam baik kita cakap, adalah definition, which is true as well. So definition can be represented in terms of formula as well. Maybe I write formula instead. So the formula for impulse would be J equals to delta P, while P is equals to delta M. So, sorry, MV. So this is the difference. Okay, next question, B. The net force is 8 Newton X on 18 kilogram body for 1 minute. Determine the impulse due to the force. If the final velocity of the body is, okay, so I'm going to highlight this one first. Okay. We're going to do the B one first. Okay, so F net, 8 Newton, let's say we assume that it is moving to this direction. Okay, and then we have a body, 18 kilogram, Mass is equal to 18 kilogram. Force equals to 8 Newton. The delta T is equals to 60 seconds. And so basically I just take out the information. I write down in terms of SI unit. Okay, so the question want to find the impulsive force. Sorry, determine the impulse due to the force. So J is equals to F delta T. So you can solve straight away lah. 8 multiplied by 60. Okay, so the unit would be Newton second. Okay, for this one, you can state direction if you want to, but since the diagram is not given anyway, so I just want to leave it like this. Okay. Question B2. If the final velocity of the body is 60 ms, calculate the initial velocity of the body. So if you are using the same diagram, it says here that the final velocity is 60. Okay. So let's say this is my direction of V. So the question I want to find U. Okay, so you know that J is basically equals to delta P, which is equals to 480 since you already calculated just now. So it will be MV minus MU equals to 480. You can factorize the M if you want to. So it will be 18 V minus V is given, so 60 minus U equals to 480. So 480 divided by 18 and then minus with 60, I got positive 33.33. Okay, so this one actually indicates that it is actually moving to the right. So U is to the right as well. So initially, U is moving to the right, and then a force being applied in the same direction of U. So you will expect the velocity to increase, which turns out to be 60. So everything makes sense. You get U is positive, means to the right, because of our assumption that the diagram is like this. Okay, you can answer it, you can put it in the direction if you want to. Okay, macam ni yang atas ni, you can put it as to the right. And then this one also you can put as to the right. Again, this is based on our drawing. Okay, any question?
No, sir.
No, eh? Okay, see, based on the graph in figure 3.1, F against T above, what represent impulse? So this one is simple. Apa dia? What's the answer?
Area under the
Yeah.
graph.
So that would be area under graph. It depends on the shape of the graph lah. Kalau dia trapezium, then you have to use trapezium punya calculation. Okay, question number 7. An estimate force time curve for a baseball struck by a bat is shown in figure. Okay. Okay, so you can imagine cerita dia macam ni . Let's say kamu ada bat, nak pukul ball ni. So this ball initially is not touching the bat. So this is the bat. Okay, this is the ball lah, obviously. So before 1 second, the ball and the bat does not touch each other. So there's no force. Tak ada force pun. And then once this thing start to touch, the ball start to touch the bat ataupun the surface will start to experience some force. And then it will increase, and eventually it will rebound. In this case, it will rebound lah. So force will decrease, and then dia akan hilang balik force tu. So this is the graph. So between 1 and 2.5 here is the time of contact between the ball and the bat. Over here is the maximum. So you can expect this one is when the ball is actually stopped. So all the kinetic energy transferred to the bat. So this is when you have the maximum force. And then opposite direction. I mean, the force decrease. So we are not talking about direction just now. We are talking about the magnitude of force. Okay, the impulse delivered to the ball A. So the question want to find the impulse. So J is equals to area, right? Okay, so how do you want to measure area under the graph? In this case, shape apa ni?
Triangle shape.
So the formula would be half multiplied by
1.5.
yes. So it will be 2.5 minus 1. So in exam, don't worry lah, they will give you specific value. Tak ada agak-agak macam ni. For me, this one, dia macam kena agak-agak kan.
Yes.
And this one, the peak is given. Okay. So multiply by the height, which is 1800. But make sure you realize that this one is actually millisecond. So whatever the answer that you got, you will have it in millisecond. Unit millisecond. So J is multiplied by half multiplied by 1.5 multiplied by 1800. So 18,000. You get 13,500. Betul ke? Did you get the same answer with me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
So
sir.
notice that this one still got milli. So if you want to change to without the prefix, if you want to remove the prefix, you can replace that one with times 10 negative 3 and S. So obviously now you can press your calculator if you want, or you can simply move from here to here lah, 3 jump. So it becomes 13.5. Alternatively, if you're not sure, you can always press your calculator. Okay, so this one is the final answer without the prefix. Okay, A, and then B, the average force exerted on the ball. So B. Okay, so just now, we calculate the area which represent the impulse. Okay, and then we have a values over here, which is the maximum force. But now the question wants to find the average force. So the average impulsive force actually comes from the formula itself, where J is equals to F delta T. So this one is also the F there, also known as the average force. So the force varied, but as average, you can use this formula. So it will be 13.5. So notice that now I didn't use any milli, so that the final answer would be in SI unit. Sorry, you want to find the F, so delta T is equals to 60. Salah. Two different soalan tu soalan lain. This one would be 1.5 times 10 negative 3. So again, I remove the milli straight away. So here is 9,000. Okay, and you can leave it your answer like that. Okay, question number C, the peak force exerted on the ball. So F peak would be equals to berapa ni?
18,000.
So you can see from the diagram clearly. So the peak force experienced by the ball would be over here, which is 1800. So kamu faham dia punya graph ni apa kaitan dia dengan benda ni? Can you guys relate?
Faham.
Faham, sir.
Okay, now if you guys okay, maybe you can move to the next question, which is question number 8. Okay, 3 box A, B and C. Yang ni kamu boleh buat tak question number 8
Tak.
Boleh, sir?
Boleh. Kalau boleh, saya skip dulu lah. Kalau kita ada masa, kita patah balik. Tadi ada yang cakap tak boleh
Saya tak dapat ni, sir.
Tak dapat tak
Saya
apa.
pun tak dapat.
Saya kasih dulu cara buat dia. Basically, kamu kena replace lah. Boleh saya tunjuk terus lah, senang. So, we can replace into two situation. Okay, so this is the first situation. And then this is the second situation. So, for the case 1, I'm going to write case. My advice is for collision, this is collision question, you always write before and after. Okay. So if you read the question, I'm sure you guys read it already. They give you the mass. And then smooth plane means that there's no friction. Okay, block A got a speed of 18. Collides and stick with block B. Collide and stick with block C. Assuming that B and C is not moving initially, so you can say that UB is equals to 0 and UC is equals to 0. This is your UA. Okay. And then you have M, 2M, and 3M. Okay, so for the first situation, if you read this question lah, it says that A and B hit one another. A hit B, and then they stick together, and then B hit C. So it has a two collision lah, ada dua collision. So you can write this one as case 1 or collision. I change this one to collision 1 lah. Collision 1 between A and B. Okay. So the before A, B. Okay. Afterward, they move together. So normally if it moves together, I love to put it on top of one another supaya saya tak terlupa. Okay. Now, you can solve using summation of PI equals to summation of PF. So you have MU plus MU equals to MV plus MV. Okay. Since final velocity is the same, so I can change this one. I can factorize the V. That one becomes M plus MV. Like I told before, subscript is very important. So you have to write lah. This one for A, this one for B. This one for A and this one for B. This one is for both of A and B. I'm going to write this one as AB. Okay, so far boleh ikut ke tidak?
Boleh, sir.
Okay.
Boleh, sir.
E is equals to 0 because initially it's not moving. So you can substitute M equals to M. Okay, and UA is equals to 18. And that equals to MA plus MB, which is M plus 3M. And then VAB. Okay, so if you solve inside the bracket here, we got, sorry, this one is 2M. M plus 2M. So if you solve inside the bracket here, you get 3M. So you have M on the both side. You can cancel out the M. So I cancel out the M. This one becomes 1. So 18 divided by 3 would be equals to 6. Okay. So normally, student will have a problem with this one. Okay, if this object is moving, let's say this object is moving to the left, make sure you substitute this one as negative. Jangan terlupa letak. Kalau macam ni dia 0, so it doesn't really matter lah. So final answer VAB equals to 6. You got positive means to the right lah.
Sir, nak tanya, kenapa
Yes.
yang box yang C tu kita tak kira?
Saya kira separately. Macam collision pertama,
okay.
collision kedua. Okay.
Right.
Kamu buat sekali, boleh dapat?
Boleh dapat.
Interesting. So collision number 2, it will be AB tadi tu, dia collide dengan C. So saya suka buat asing sebab saya dapat bayangkan situation dia. Jadi kalau kamu boleh buat cara lain, dapat, tak ada masalah. So this one, A, B, this is the situation before, and this is the situation after. Oops. A, B, C tu semua stick together kan. So A, B, C. Moving at the same velocity. Okay. The key thing here is that UC is equals to 0 as well. Okay, now using the same formula, remember to write down PI equals to summation of PF because sometimes student memang careless dekat sini. So this one akan ada markah gantian. And then final answer kadang-kadang kamu ada markah satu lagi lah. So if the marks is 3, katakan marks is 3, lagi satu tu datang daripada sini, which is concept. Okay, if you get everything correct, you get this one as well lah. Concept tu dapat juga markahnya. But then let's say you substitute here, you forgot to put negative, or you accidentally put negative. So dekat sini hilang markah. There's no marks for gantian. Final answer for sure salah. And this one kalau kamu tak tulis, kamu tak dapat markah. So make sure kamu tulis so that if let's say kamu tersalah kira ke apa, you still get at least 1 mark lah. 1 mark daripada 3 pun banyak juga sebenarnya. Okay. PI is equals to sama je MAB UAB plus MCUC equals to MAB V. Okay, this one I can factorize as well lah. Okay, because final velocity is the same. So this one becomes 0 because initially C is not moving. So MAB2 would be equals to 3M. Tak, betul eh. UB tadi equals to 6. Yang VAB just now, dia jadi UB lah. Yang asal pula sebab dia dah berlanggar tadi kan. Lepas tu dia bergerak lagi. So dia hit, naik atas ni, lepas dia gerak lagi. So MAB equals to 3 plus ada M 3M plus 3M V. So you can cancel out the V again. So 18 divided by 6, I got V equals to 3 meter per second. Did you get the same answer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So since they give you the diagram, you really need to state the direction. So V to the right because this one is positive. Okay, any question?
Sir, how you get 3M MAB2?
AB2 because dia dah stick together, dia dah duduk atas-atas ni kan. So saya kira dia sekali lah. So dia bawah ni adalah 2M, atas tu adalah M. So kalau saya add up, dia jadi 3M.
Oh, okay.
Kat sini lah. Okay. So dia jadi combine lah. They move together. Mass dia pun together. Okay, any more question? Good question. Ada soalan lagi? Okay, good. Very good. Tak ada eh? Okay, kalau tak ada, we're moving on to the next one, which is question number 9. 9 dapat ke tak?
Yang ni saya tak dapat.
Tak dapat ya? Okay. Two identical marbles move along the x-axis in the opposite direction with velocities of 11 and in the positive x and 7 in the negative x. Okay. So I draw that one straight away. Identical means the mass is the same lah. Okay. Move in opposite direction, maybe one to the right, one to the left. Okay, yang towards the positive x direction is u equals to 11. Towards the negative u is equals to negative 7 ms minus 1. I straight away put negative because normally I would forget untuk masuk dalam formula. So if I do it here, most likely saya ingat lah. They collide, so negative ni sebab dia ke kiri. So they collide elastically and move separately. Find the velocity just after the collision. So dia berlanggar, then they move separately. So tak tahu, kita assume tak tahulah dia ke mana walaupun kita tahu. Okay, let's say lah kita tahu dia pergi mana, kita boleh agak dia seorang akan pergi sini, dia seorang akan pergi sana. Kalau dia dapat opposite direction lah, if kalau dia kata after that dia move in one direction, boleh juga. So tak tahu lagi, kita assume je dulu. This is after. Okay, what can you say about elastic collision?
Momentum before and after is same.
Apa dia?
Momentum before and after collision is the
Okay.
same.
Lagi? Apa lagi?
And kinetic energy is conserved.
Okay, so summation of K is equals to summation of K. Okay, if you want to use the momentum punya conservation, we use that one first. So it will be summation of Pi equals to summation of Pf. Okay. Where MAUA plus MBUP equals to MAVA plus MBVB. Okay, mass of A is identical. Everything is identical. So mass of A and B is the same. So I can take this one straight away. So mass dia sama lah. Cancelkan. So UA would be equals to 11 plus UB is equals to negative 7. Don't forget to put the negative 7. Ramai student terlupa lah, termasuk saya sendiri. And then afterwards you want to find VA and VB. So you have two unknowns. 11 minus 7 is equals to 4. But you only have one equation. So you cannot solve lah. unless you use this another extra information over here, which is about the kinetic energy. Okay, since we know that this one is elastic collision, so summation of Ki is equals to summation of Kf. Okay, so this will be half mu square. Is half mv square, but I change to u because this one is the initial. Okay, tak muat. So I'm gonna make this one a little bit smaller. So half mv square, but this time it's b. Okay, so far boleh ikut ke tak?
Boleh, sir.
Boleh, sir.
Yeah. So before collision, you can cancel out the half straight away. You can cancel all the terms have half. So mass also the same. Banyak cancel lagi. Okay, now you left with UA. Okay, UA square. So 11 square plus 7 negative 7 square. This one square, so it doesn't really matter. Equals to VA square plus VB square. Okay tak?
Okay, sir. Say.
Okay, it's okay. So VA square plus VB square equals to 11 square, which is 121 minus 49. Right here 72. Okay, dah siap ke belum?
Belum.
Lepas ni kena buat apa?
Compare.
Yes, you can compare or you can substitute. Very good, okay. So let's say if I want to substitute, nak substitute mana dengan mana? Katakan ni adalah 1. This one is 2. 1 into 2 or 2 into 1? Which one you want to use?
1 into 2.
Okay, dia tak kisah apa saya pilih satu. So I follow you guys. So from equation 1, VA is equals to VB minus 4. So basically what I did is that I bring VA to the other side. I bring 4 to this side. So it will be VB minus 4. Okay, and then on the right hand side, I have, I can substitute inside second equation. Okay, lagi tak macam nak buka bracket factor. Bracket macam tu. Square tu.
Expand.
Expand. So VB square minus 8VB. So basically I multiply 4 with VB and then multiply by 2. This one the negative, so the negative lah. Plus VB square. Okay, I can bring the 72 on the other side. This one bukan VB square, sorry. Betul lah. Tapi dia ada
So
16.
tinggal 16.
Okay, thank you. So this one is the bracket. I open up the bracket, dapat ni, and then dapat VB square tu masih ada. Okay, thank you. So now you have 2VB square minus 8VB minus 16 minus 72. I got here negative 56. Sama tak?
Sama, sir.
Okay, now you can press your calculator again. Tekan menu setup. Lepas tu kalau calculator saya ni, I have to press alpha A. I have to choose polynomial. This one maximum degree dia tu kuasa berapa? Kuasa 2 je. So letak 2 je lah. So 2, negative 8, negative 56. Okay, 7.65 and negative 3.66. Okay, so actually it has two velocities, one for each ball actually. So kalau kamu katakanlah kamu tak yakin nak ambil which one, you can try to calculate lah. What if VB is equals to 7.65? Saya lupa saya nak buat apa. Okay, what if VB sama 7.65, then VA is equals to okay, which is basically sama je dengan ni. Betul tak? Ada salah tak? Saya rasa macam patutnya negatif, tapi saya dapat
Saya dapat lain. Sekejap.
mana yang lain?
Dia sepatutnya 4 tolak VB tu.
Kalau saya tulis 4 tolak awal, saya tulis terbalik. No wonder. Thank you. So it will be 4 minus VB. Okay. So if I do that, this one will be the same. Sama juga kan? VB square 16. Okay, still the same. Luckily, still the same. Okay, cuma beza dia dekat sini saya rasa. So this one still 2V. This one still correct. Cuma this one will be 16 minus 72. Sama juga kan?
Sama. Yang
Cuma
VA
kan?
tu je.
Oh, VA kat bawah ni je. Okay. So this one dekat sini, no wonder lah separate. Okay. So this one, you will get 4 minus VB, which is 7.65. You will get negative 3.65. Okay. So if you calculate, if you use 3.66, you substitute inside, you get 7.65. Okay, boleh try kira lah. And the thing is, the difference here between this one is just the sign convention. So the pair stay the same. So you can choose B to be positive, A to be negative based on your drawing. So I'm going to choose that.
So, tapi kenapa skema lain jawapan?
Skema tu apa?
Skema dia tulis negatif 7 dengan 11.
Saya dapat yang negatif 7 dengan 11 tu. Tapi yang second equation saya dengan lain.
Maksudnya saya salah ni.
Saya yang 11 square tambah negatif 17 square sepatutnya jadi 170.
I think I forgot to put negative now over here. I put negative, patutnya positive. So this one is 170, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so if that one is 170, then over here is 170 as well, correct?
Oh, yes.
Okay, good. Okay, I don't know what's wrong with me. So it will be 16 minus 170. Betul? So 154. Is it
Yes.
correct? Okay. So the pair would be -11 and -7.
Yes, sir. Betul.
So 11 ms minus 1 and -7 ms minus 1. So again, you can substitute, but I'm sure the values down here would be macam yang pair yang sama lah, just the opposite sign convention. So we just want to choose so that this one makes sense. So VB to be positive and VA to be negative. So we assume that VB is equals to 11 meter per second, and VA is 7 meter per second, but this one to the left. This one to the right. Okay, make sense ke tak?
Make sense.
Okay, good. Okay. Any question for this one? Question number 9. Okay, tak ada. I assume tak ada. Okay, question number 10. Dapat ke tidak?
Dapat.
Dapat.
So I think I'm gonna skip
Saya dapat A
question.
je.
Dapat A je?
Dapat A je. B tak dapat.
B. B, I think you have to use
B kena pakai yang dia bagi impulse tu.
impulse kan?
18.0.
Okay, so J is equals to 18 Newton second. So kamu nak kaitkan tadi, yang initially kamu dah ada V, betul?
Betul.
So you can relate this one with MV minus MU. Is it correct? Okay, yang A tadi dapat berapa V dia?
Negative 4.17.
4.17 meter per second. That means that one for B, VB kan? Betul?
Betul-betul, VB.
Okay, so B ni dia travel here with the velocity of, okay, this one becomes U lah, sebab the initial before they hit the wall. Okay, this one to the left, so that's why the negative, and then the bounce off V kita nak cari. Okay, so you can use this formula. So 3, we want to find V. 3, the U you should put negative. Okay, because this one is going to the left. Okay, and J is positive because J is to the right. So kalau dia langgar surface, you expect force dia in this direction lah. So force is positive. So if you do that, 18 minus V dapat 1.83, betul?
Yes, sir.
Yes, betul.
Okay, so VB is equals to, and you get a positive, which means that this one is actually moving to the right. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Alright. Tadi yang tak dapat Firas
Ya.
Tapi okey lah ni. Kamu sangkut kat mana?
Dah okey dah, tak, saya blank dekat soalan V tu.
Tak sure nak
Tapi
kaitkan
soalan
dengan
A tu
tu,
dapat jawab.
okay.
Tak tahu nak kait dengan apa.
Alright, okay. This one for B. Okay, good.
Sir,
Yes?
nak tanya balik soalan nombor 9 tadi sebab saya terfikir. So basically marble A dengan marble B tu diorang exchange velocities because of the same mass ataupun macam mana tu?
Interesting question. Because there's no power loss. I mean, there's no energy loss. Basically, kinetic energy will be conserved as well if you want to think about the kinetic energy. So in this case, since the mass is because it is identical, so basically you can assume that the momentum transferred to the another one lah.
Sebab kalau jawapan saya kan saya tak tunjuk steps yang sebuat tu, saya just buat statement macam since both marbles have equal mass, they exchange velocities. Macam tu. Boleh tak sir? Ataupun perlu tunjuk steps?
Interesting question. If you are really sure, you can do that. If you're really sure, you can do that.
Tapi lebih safe lah
Okay.
kalau buat
Yes.
macam sir ni. Okay.
Yes, for me personally, it will be safe you do it like this lah. So
Okay.
this one ada special case where kinetic energy is conserved. So kinetic energy conserved, there's no energy loss, so you can assume that the momentum fully transferred to the another one lah. Tapi for me, saya sendiri tak berani nak cakap kalau dapat soalan kan. Nak kena kira juga lah.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Okay.
Alright. Tapi kalau jawapan betul, sebenarnya dapat full mark. So if you can be sure, then you will get a full mark as well. So
Okay,
don't worry
sir.
about that. Alright. Okay, question number 11. Another interesting question. Saya tak sure sempat tak. Saya rasa sempat kot. Kamu ada kelas after this?
Tak ada, sir.
Tak ada sir. Sempat je sir. Ada lagi 12 minit.
Okay, so kita akan finish 3 lah, about 3 PM. Okay, now, before collision and after collision, this is the first time you guys jumpa benda ni. Saya lupa buka kamera saya tadi. This is the first time kamu jumpa benda ni because dekat sekolah, you only learn about one dimension. Okay, sekarang ni dia ada 2 dimension. So 2 dimension, ada pro and cons dia lah. Yang cons dia tu macam panjang sikit cerita dia. Tapi pro dia kasih gambar rajah. Normally memang dia kasih gambar rajah. And dia jarang tanya sebab markah untuk 2 dimensional ni sebenarnya calculation dia banyak. So markah dia banyak lah. So kalau dia nak kasih, maka dia terlebih daripada allocated marks. So dia dah lama tak tanya because of that. Tapi kalau dia nak tanya, saya expect dia kasih more information so that kamu akan less calculation. So dia boleh tanya, tak ada masalah. Okay, anyway, 2 balls A and B, they give you the velocity there. They even draw it for you. They put it over there. So they give you in centimeter per second. I can leave everything in centimeter per second. It's not a problem. Final answer will be in centimeter per second as well lah. Then the ball collide with each other and bounce off. Okay, mass of A is 20 and 25. Again, I can leave this one as gram. And then final answer, if I calculate mass, I will get gram as well. Okay, calculate the final velocity of the ball B and its direction if the final velocity of ball A is 10 centimeter per second. Okay, so for the initial before collision, dia tak ada masalah. Okay, because this one is in X component. So basically this is your UAX and UBX. Okay, only in X component. Kalau Y component saya, ada ke tak?
Kena resolve dulu.
Kalau untuk yang initial ni.
Oh, initial tak ada.
Tak ada. So kalau tak ada, nilai dia berapa kamu nak tulis?
0.
Yes. UAY is equals to 0. And UBY is equals to 0. Okay, this one dia tak sebut. But then you know, because logical thinking lah, you only have velocities in X component, so Y would be equals to 0. Tak tulis pun tak apa. Tapi kalau tulis, maybe kamu akan lebih faham kot lepas ni. Okay, and then after the collision, you have V in this direction. So obviously you have to resolve. So you have V, this is your VA. So you have VAY and you will have VAX. Okay, maybe I can write it down over here straight away. So your VAY, since VA is equals to 10, okay, and the angle is 35, you can write this one as VA sin ke cos kalau Y?
Sin.
Sin 35 degrees, okay, or this one is equals to 10 sin 35. Okay, you can press your calculator straight away. You will get 10 sin 35. I got here is 5.75. Is it positive or negative?
Positive.
Sebab?
Upward.
Yes, good. Okay. Now VAX, you can do the same with VAX. Okay, VAX positive or negative?
Negative.
Okay, sebab dia to the left, right? So I just put negative straight away so that I don't forget to put later on.
Oh, so yang 10 tu tak perlu tukar pada meter per second ke ataupun
Tak perlu.
tak
Okay,
perlu?
kalau all the units is the same, is okay. Okay, the reason kenapa tak perlu, sebab benda ni macam, saya tulis kat bawah ni ya. The main formula that you're going to use is MV minus MU. Sorry, MV, MU, right? As long as left hand side dengan right hand side has the same unit, should be okay. Sebab unit tu cancel off. So this one macam special sikit lah. Kalau yang macam, let's say they ask you to find J kan, J sama dengan MV J equals to MV minus MU. Okay, this one if you want to write J ni dalam Newton second, you really need to use V ni dalam meter per second. Okay?
Okay, sir. Okay.
This
So
one
kalau saya convert juga,
boleh, tak ada masalah. Boleh?
Okay.
Kalau kamu convert, final answer kamu dalam meter per second lah. Okay. So persamaan, as long as your unit is the same, final answer make sure kamu use the same unit lah. Itu je. Okay, now VAX. Okay, press your calculator. 10 cos 35. Right here is negative 8.19 meter. So this one is centimeter lah. Sebaik kamu cakap. Okay, maybe sebab tu kamu tanya kot. Saya tak tulis centimeter. Okay. Understand or not so far?
Yes.
Okay, so now you have all the values needed to calculate. Okay, macam biasa, macam chapter 2, you have to separate between X and Y. So, I'm going to separate that one as well. So, you will expect collision ni kan, dia akan bentuk VBX and VBY. So, basically, you want to find your VBX and VBY. You can combine and you can find your VB. So, for X component, we're going to do one by one. For X component, okay, so summation of P initial equals to summation of P final. This one is conservation of momentum. You just add this one as your X. Okay, so it means this one we want to consider X component only. So initially it will be M A U A X plus M B U B X equals to M A V A X plus M B V B X. Exactly the same macam sebelum ni, MU plus MU, MV plus MV. The only difference here is the subscript. Okay. In fact, subscript dia similar, cuma saya tambah X je dekat untuk U tu. Mass tu tak perlu lah, because mass you don't have X or Y. Okay, that's why I said, I told you before, subscript is very important because it will help you to substitute. Okay, kalau kamu skip this part, tak ada masalah. Tapi make sure kamu do it correctly. So I suggest you to write down lah. MA is equals to 20. Again, I use the same unit here. UAX is 25. This one, everything is in X component, so I'm going to leave it like that. MB is 25. UBX is negative 15. Tahu tak kenapa negative?
To the left.
Okay, because it is to the left. Okay, be careful This one is negative because it is moving to the left. So ini yang biasa student terlupa. Kamu bayangkan markah dia 5 or 6 and student terlupa letak negative. Can imagine berapa banyak dia hilang markah. So MA is equals to 20. VAX, we know the VAX already, which is equals to negative 8.19 plus 25. BBX here is equals to, it's the one you want to find. Okay, common mistake, ada satu problem lagi. Do not write this one as V cos X. Jangan pecahkan dia, jangan tulis dia dalam form yang macam ni. Okay, if you do it like that, then you will end up with two more unknowns. Maksud saya, do not write this one as V B cos theta. Okay, because you don't know the theta, you don't know the VB. So if you do it like that, you're gonna end up with unknown theta and unknown VB. So tak boleh solve. So leave it like this. So basically you want to find your VBX. So this is the things that you need to remember lah. Kalau kamu terbuka, memang tak dapat jawapan. There's no way. Boleh dapat jawapan, kamu kena pakai tangent apa semua. Kena pada lah, tak payah. Okay, divide like this. So 20 times 25 minus 25 times negative 15. I got here is apa ni? Salah kira 20 times 25 minus 25 times 50. Got 125. You get the same answer with me? That side only.
Same.
Same, eh? Adas okay? Firas okay? Ya, Firas? Nes, okay?
Tengah menyat.
Aha, tengah ni. Nes?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. So here I got 11.55 centimeter per second. Okay, if you use a different unit, so you expect you get 0.11 lah, 0.116, something like that. Kan? Okay, ada soalan tak so far?
No question, sir.
Okay, no question Kita pergi ke Y component. Okay, for Y component, okay, I can use the same concept where PI is equals to PF, but now it's Y instead of X. Okay, again, I can use this one as well, and MU, but we know that U is equals to 0. Maybe I'm going to write it down first so that you don't get confused. MAUAY plus MBUBY equals to MAVAY plus MBVBY. Okay, this is the easiest part. You know that UBY and UAY is equal to 0. So initially there's no velocity in Y component, which means that I can cancel off this part. So this one becomes 0, this one becomes 0, and ups everything here on the left hand side becomes 0. So there's no momentum in Y component before the collision, which is something that you expect lah. MA is equals to 20. VAY you already calculate, which is equals to 5.75. It is upwards, so it's positive. So you always have to double check. MB is equals to 25. VBY. So in exam, things that you need to check is whether the U is positive or negative. Let's say kamu dah habis buat kan, and you want to spend the remaining time to check whether your answer is correct or not. Okay, try to check the unit. Try to check the sign convention for velocity tu. Biasa student salah kat situ. So I recalculate this one. I got here is 4.6. It will be negative 4.6 centimeter per second. Did you guys get the same answer? Dapat sama tak?
Sama-sama.
Sama ya. Okay, now you have two velocity X and Y component. So I can redraw that one. I know that X is positive, so it is to the right, and Y downwards. Okay, so the resultant would be your VB. So you want to find VB, so you can calculate VB using square root of VVX square plus VBY square. Oops. So here I got 11.55 square plus 4.6 square. Again, if you got a meter, that one should be 0.04. I got here is 12.44. The unit again still in centimeter per second. Okay. And finally, I still have to determine the theta there. So tangent theta, I always put y over x, which is equals to 4.6. Again, you can see that I didn't put any sign negative tu, saya tak bawa sini. Just leave it like that. Kalau bawa pun tak ada masalah. Okay je. Okay, but you still have to write below positive x axis. Okay.
Okay, sure. Dapat.
Fine. Okay, any question?
Kalau tertinggal below positive axis tu hilang markah tak?
Kalau kamu draw, let's say if you draw it like this, kalau saya kasih markah sebab bagi saya kamu faham. Tapi ikut pemeriksa juga. So dia kata kadang-kadang dia buat tak nampak benda ni. So masalah sikit lah. Biasanya lah, biasa pemeriksa dia nak cari markah, nak kasih kamu. Jarang dia cari markah nak tolak. So kalau saya kasih, oh ni boleh lah ni, dia faham ni, saya kasih dia markah. Tapi nak selamat tulis je.
Sir.
Yes.
Kenapa yang MAUAY tu dia dapat kosong?
Okay, yang this one kosong ni sebab UAY dengan UBY ni 0. Okay, the reason kenapa U dia tu 0 sebab initially kita hanya ada yang X component je. Dia datang tu kiri kanan kan. Tapi Y component tak ada masa dia datang tu lah. So initially yang Y component dia adalah 0. Tapi bila kita berlanggar baru dia ada Y dengan X.
Okay.
Alright. Okay, lain? Any more question?